Some predators are better than others at hunting prey. Being smarter, faster, or stronger can really make the difference between success and failure. Have you ever seen the Arowana hunt? What about the sailfish? If you're curious and want to see some amazing animals in action, keep watching as we count down 15 smart and drastic ways predators hunt their prey. Number 15. Wild dogs hunting waterbuck. A flashback to one of the best sightings safari enthusiasts had while staying at the Savannah Game Reserve. After witnessing a pack of wild dogs unsuccessfully hunt a large herd of impalas, they came across a mother and a calf waterbuck. The little waterbuck managed to escape from a large pod of hippos after being chased into the water by the dogs. The wild dogs gave up after a few hours, and the mother and calf escaped unharmed. A pack of wild dogs has caught and killed a waterbuck. The waterbuck's insides are being devoured by the dogs. More dogs arrive at the table, and each one of them tries to get the biggest piece of meat. These wild dogs show no mercy for this waterbuck and begin to eat it alive. The waterbuck just lays there being pulled on and bitten. At one point, it gets up to try to escape, only to be taken down again. The dogs are relentless and try to break the waterbuck open. They finally disembowel the animal and enjoy the fruits of their labor. A pack of wild dogs manages to corner and surround a calf and her mother. The dogs were targeting the calf because it's easier to kill, but the mother was resilient and intervened. It looks like the two heroes made it out alive.
The Fanatic brings you all the best content you want to see when it comes to the animal kingdom. If you want to see the latest confrontations between animals and the best animal videos, please subscribe now. We post new videos every day for your entertainment.
Number 14. Cats hunting birds. A magnificent caracal in a successful hunt. It was in the distance, but it was unmistakable. They got as close as they could, but it was still quite a distance away. It was difficult to film because it was very windy and there was a significant heat haze. Nonetheless, they sat and watched it for quite some time. It spotted something and took off at full speed. It caught and quickly dispatched a savannah hare. The caracal proceeded to eat the unfortunate creature, but it was mostly hidden by the long grass. Then, to their delight, it reappeared with the remains of the carcass and approached them. What a wonderful sighting of a lovely cat. Here is a domestic cat that spots a pigeon and it decides to investigate and get closer. When it goes to try and touch the pigeon, the bird flies away. The cat did not go into this with the mind of a hunter. It was obvious he was curious and just wanted to tap the pigeon at first. Perhaps if he had caught it, things would have ended differently. Watch this cat attack a pigeon and grab it. But the most unbelievable thing happens when a priest scares the cat away from the pigeon, saving the bird's life in the process. When you watch this cat slowly approach this pigeon, you're probably thinking the pigeon will easily avoid being caught, but think again. The cat gets so close to the pigeon he can't miss, and he doesn't. Cats are incredible predators, just like their bigger counterparts. Number 13. Crow versus owl. This owl is surrounded by crows, and although the owl is a bird of prey, there are way too many crows in the vicinity. Furthermore, the owl is young. The owl lunges at the aggressive crows, but it doesn't deter them. They keep coming. Apparently, the guy filming eventually scared the crows away, enough so the owl could take off. This owl is cornered by a crow, but neither is attacking the other. When a second crow arrives, the two crows are a little more aggressive, trying to peck at the owl. The owl stands his guard, but there isn't much else he can do. A siren is heard in the background, and for some reason, that's when the crows take off. I later found out there is a warrant out for their arrest, so that explains why they reacted this way. The first thing that stands out in this video is the owl's lack of enthusiasm. It isn't scared in the least, and the raven has no aggressive intentions at first. It tests, tries to elicit a reaction from the owl, but the bird of prey doesn't budge. At some point, the raven tries a different tactic. It puts on its "I'm a big guy" display of erect ear feathers, usually used to show status in the presence of potential superiors. Here, it's also used in supplication if there isn't going to be a challenge. So yes, I think the raven was having fun, and then started having respect. These crows annoy this owl, but the owl doesn't look worried. The crows get closer to the owl, but when the owl lunges at them, they fly away. A raven lands right next to a snowy owl, and the owl doesn't seem to mind sharing his space with the raven. Number 12. Komodo versus wild boar. This video is difficult to watch because a Komodo dragon bites right through the stomach of a wild boar while it is still alive. It pulls out the guts and just keeps chewing on the poor animal. This Komodo wastes no time in devouring this wild boar. There was no sound from the boar, implying it was either dead before the dragon swallowed it, or the dragon's body was well insulated. This small wild boar is being eaten alive by these Komodo dragons, and just when it appears the fate is sealed, the piglet runs away. Almost half of its body is missing, but at least it escapes the ferocious reptiles. I honestly don't know how that little guy escaped the clutches of these maniacal dragons. It was in the dragon's mouth, and the dragon was ripping pieces off its body, but it still managed to flee. When he caught a wild boar, this Komodo was on the hunt, and it was a successful hunt. The boar struggled, as seen in the video, but the dragon had an easy kill. Number 11. American badger versus coyote. A pair of foxes built a den and had 2 babies. This occurred in Yellowstone National Park, where it is illegal to approach a fox or badger within 25 yards of them, or to interfere with them in any way. If the person filming this had interfered, she would have been arrested. But about 50 other photographers would have stopped her because everyone that goes there knows that. As sad as they were about the situation, badgers have rights as well. They must also eat and care for their offspring. Whether we like it or not, that's how nature works. That's exactly what the badger did when he infiltrated this fox's den to kill the 2 babies. This badger is battling a coyote that is attempting to harm it. However, badgers are tough, and this one is no exception. So the coyote is left with nothing. While the coyote is still trying to figure out what happened, the badger digs a tunnel and seeks refuge within it. According to scientific studies and Native American records, coyotes and American badgers have been observed hunting together. However, this is the first time a coyote and a badger have used a man-made structure to travel together in safety. Badgers have been seen on occasion, but they are one of the more difficult species to photograph. Because they prefer to spend most of their time underground, catching a glimpse of them is rare. As a result, seeing one with a coyote in such a small area is extremely rare. It's a real treat to see footage like this with personality, as it reminds us of the bonds that some of these animals have with one another, as well as how playful they can be at times. Number 10. Leopards. No ordinary leopard dares to stalk baboons in the broad daylight. The troop seems totally oblivious to the imminent threats. The leopard is exposed, yet remarkably unseen in the open. She takes off to make the kill. It's a small but significant victory. Her cubs will be provided for. This leopard attacked a cheetah, and as both were fighting in the tall grass, and the cheetah defended itself to the best of its abilities, but the leopard was overwhelming and delivered the final blow. It dragged the cheetah to a more discreet area up in a tree. This leopard neutralizes a rather large impala and chokes it to death. Once the animal is dead, the leopard drags it to a safer place. Number 9. Shrike hunting birds. This shrike easily attacks and kills this bird. Once the bird is dead, the shrike must find a suitable location to impale the dead bird. This shrike kills and eats a sparrow in the dead of winter. When the shrike is hungry, it appears the weather and seasons are irrelevant. This shrike flew with the bird to the slaughterhouse and quickly prepared it for dinner. The shrike kills the predator by impaling it and plucking its feathers. For such a small bird, the shrike is a deadly predator. This loggerhead shrike swoops down on a sparrow and drags it around while eating it. The small bird reminds me of a few of the larger animals we've seen in previous countdowns. Another sparrow has been killed and impaled by a loggerhead shrike. From the start, this poor little guy was doomed. Number 8. Tigers take down a bear. In a fight, can a single tiger defeat a single bear? Maybe, but how about 3 tigers? Not at all. It's difficult to say when this lone bear is followed and shredded by 3 tigers, but it doesn't take long for the bear to stop screaming and go silent. This bear decides to climb a tree to get away from a tiger. The tiger follows it, but there isn't enough space on the tree for him to reach the bear. The tiger quickly loses patience and decides to give up. Number 7. American badger versus dog. This white dog threatens a badger that has encroached on his property. The dog is barking but not attacking the badger. The badger is cornered but stands its ground. When the dog tries to bite it, the badger goes on the offensive and the dog backs down. The dog's handler approaches with a net trying to capture the badger so he can get him out of there. The fight continues and includes a few close combat scuffles, but nothing more. These dachshunds are aggressing this badger, but the badger is well protected with his back sitting between two logs. There isn't much the dogs can do besides bark. The Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred in Africa to hunt lions and is known for its bravery and strength. Because they couldn't kill lions, they were only used to track them down and keep them at bay until the hunter arrived and shot the lion. When confronted with a much smaller badger, this Rhodesian Ridgeback gets more than a bargain for. Badgers are unrivaled in their bravery, aggressiveness, and fearlessness in the face of much larger and stronger animals. They will fight back, and for the most part, win. Number 6. Wild dogs versus Tsessebe. The Tsessebe is apprehended right away and learns all about wild dogs. It couldn't do anything, no matter how hard it tried. Imagine being born in a world where you're dropped off in the middle of nowhere and almost everyone sees you as food or competition. These dogs all tugged in different directions, gulping down every scrap of meat they could get their mouths on. The pain must be unbearable for the animal, but I'm guessing the dogs don't seem to mind as long as they're eating. Number 5. Leopard versus porcupine. The leopard is one of Africa's most beautiful felines. This leopard hasn't been successful hunting recently and is on the verge of starvation, so is willing to try anything. Even a porcupine is fascinating, but the cat must exercise caution, or he will quickly regret this encounter. The leopard attempts to bite the porcupine, but the quills get stuck in the leopard's mouth. Although the quills are painful, the leopard's hunger is more so the leopard strikes again. But this time, more quills poke through the leopard's jaw and body. The leopard kills the porcupine, but the leopard dies a few days later because of the infection caused by the quills. In this video, a leopard tries unsuccessfully to reach beneath the porcupine's belly and flip it over. The leopard will suffer regardless of the outcome of the hunt because its body is covered in quills. The leopard uses its paws to cut into the porcupine's back and lift it up. The porcupine is clearly in trouble now, but seeing the cat's face covered in quills makes you wonder if the kill was worth it. How is this leopard going to get rid of these quills? This leopard appears to have killed a porcupine and does not have many quills on his body. He still has some though, and he won't be able to get rid of them on his own. This may also result in infection. Number 4. Stoat versus rabbits. This battle between a small and aggressive stoat and an oversized bunny continues for a while. But guess which one will kill and eat the other? That's right, the stoat. This stoat has snatched a rabbit who is fighting for its life. The rabbit eventually succumbs after a scuffle between the two. To feed his young, the stoat returns to his den with his kill. A young stoat may be seen peering out of the den to observe what's going on. Look at how small this stoat is compared to this big cat. But make no mistake, the stoat is the aggressor in this video. This stoat has killed a rabbit and is trying to drag the rabbit through a fence, but the fluffy bunny doesn't seem to fit. With a lot of hard work and perseverance, the stoat finally brings the rabbit through the hole. Number 3. Sailfish. These divers followed sailfish on their way to a feeding frenzy on schools of fish during this excursion. When you see this feeding frenzy, hunting in packs, it's easy to see why sailfish are known as wolves of the sea. Their coordinated silent attacks are impressive as they ambush and drive schools of bait fish from the bottom, forcing them to the surface. They steer the bait with their dorsal fin and coral the school into ever tighter balls. It's beautifully choreographed dance that's mesmerizing to watch. This video depicts how an Atlantic sailfish uses its bill to hunt for schooling prey. The first segment shows a large school of sardines interacting with a large group of sailfish. The second segment depicts the sailfish striking several potential preys at high speeds with a slash sweeping movement with the bill. The third segment depicts in real time the various steps involved in a sailfish attacking a prey school. The large dorsal fin that extends almost the entire length of their bodies gives sailfish their name. While their sail-like fins and the fight they're known for putting up when they encounter fishermen are impressive, the sailfish's real claim to fame is it's the fastest swimmer in the ocean, reaching speeds of up to 68 miles per hour. Sailfish are abundant and are not listed as endangered or protected for conservation purposes. They have been recorded leaping out of the water at speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. Their stamina, however, does not match their speed. Short-fin mako sharks, the ocean's fastest large predatory animal, hunts sailfish. In addition, mako sharks can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour while pursuing sailfish. Number 2. Nepenthes. People immediately think of lions and crocodiles when they think of predators. But what about plants? Have you ever witnessed a carnivorous plant at work? Keep an eye on this plant as it allows this fly to enter its mouth. It's really that simple. There was no effort and no outlandish hunting strategy. All you need is patience and good intentions. The Nepenthes is a tropical flowering plant that feeds on animals and insects. This frog was eaten alive after falling into the plant's mouth. I suppose some people enjoy watching reptiles eat their lunch, while others enjoy feeding their plants. In this video, a rat has apparently fallen into the plant's mouth and has been there for some time. When the guy pulls it out of there, you can see it's not a pretty sight. This little mouse is playing with fire, perched on the ledge of a Nepenthes, inches from certain death. The mouse gets away with it this time. Number 1. Arowana fish. Arowana are solitary, territorial, and aggressive fish species. It's the kind of fish that doesn't sit around waiting for dinner to be served. The Arowana jumps out of the water and grabs whatever insect it can find, as seen in this video. It's incredible how far this fish can jump. It's quite the sight to see. When a frog is thrown into the aquarium, this Arowana eats his lunch immediately and doesn't waste any time devouring the frog. In an aquarium, watch this Arowana gobble up this bird. This is a vicious fish that does not mess around. It likes to keep the bird in its mouth until it swallows it. As you can see in this clip, this Arowana attacks with blinding speed, leaving no room for his prey to flee. I mean, the prey was gone so quickly, I didn't even notice it was there in the first place. Most of these altercations were incredible. I felt bad for the leopard that died, but the Arowana freaked me out. I can't believe how high this fish can jump out of the water. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 15 smart and drastic ways predators hunt their prey. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.